All right, here we go. Okay, so for the last 10 years, I haven't been so much taking photographs as much as I've been giving photographs. I'm guessing that a lot of you know about this photo giving project that me and my pal Yuko started in response to the earthquake and tsunami here in Tokyo called Photo Hoku. It's a portmanteau of the words photo and tohoku. Basically, we got this bottomless pit of instant peel apart film from the film gods at Fuji, thank you Fuji, which allowed us to go to the devastated region and make photos for the people who lost everything. And because the peel apart film takes a few minutes to develop, it's time that we get to spend with the recipients, chatting them up and hearing their stories. So we talk to them in English, we put on a little performance with the camera, the kids count to 10, and sometimes it gets really emotional. And by the time you've had a few moments with them, you've kind of actually forgotten about the photo, and then comes this big reveal, and it's almost like a magic trick. So you have these really special moments where the thing becomes, the actual photo is so beautiful, and it becomes more than just a photograph, more than a digital photograph that you see on your phone. It's tactile, it has smell, it's toxic, it's intoxicating. And it's really special. So once I came across this really huge family, there was like another 15 people inside the house. And it quickly became this performance. I did one of the sisters, the one with the brothers, the dogs, the cat, this crew, that crew. I was totally on fire, and I must have made like 40 really lovely images. And I looked at them one last time and turned around and walked away. And it was just like an amazing hit of inspiration. And it was this amazing feeling to be able to use the camera so that it was so second nature to me, and an incredible gift that I could have to make this and give these photos without really needing to be connected to them. But as we walked away, my friend said, like, where did all that energy come from? That was insane. And actually, I don't really know, but when you make a portrait of somebody, it can get really intense, and you can lose yourself, and you can even exhaust your energy. And it's beautiful, but it can leave you empty. So after a few years of making photos this way, I felt like I had put in 10,000 hours, and people would say the nicest things to me, like, this is the nicest photo that's ever been made of me. I'm gonna use this for my death photo, which I took to mean like, this is how I wanna be remembered, like my EA photo. And it was really powerful stuff. And I felt like the best pictures I'd ever made. And I'm sure it was because I was sharing this time with each person, and it was that sharing of time and the trust and the performance that came along with it, and the big fantastic camera. But the only problem was that there was left with no record of it, which is really romantic, but it's also a little bit tragic that these photos only existed for me as fleeting memories. So I decided to start this new portrait series of my friends and artists who I admire, using the same techniques from Photo Hoku, but I'd keep the original and I'd publish it with a few words. So that's what you're looking at in these last few images. Friends who I've had a coffee or a tea with and a conversation, and then we make a photo. I have a friend in New York City who makes poems for passersby, and he says the way to make a poem for a complete stranger is a matter of diffusing tension with quick humor and conversation and just being personable, and I totally agree with that. Sometimes you make a photo and you forget to peel it apart, and by the time you remember to peel it apart, it's time to go, and sometimes it's too light or sometimes it's too dark, but then it kind of grows on you because it was never kind of about the photo in the first place. It was more about the moment. And sometimes I have an idea for a portrait, and sometimes the idea just presents itself. I'll make a few shots with the person, and that gives an opportunity to collaborate. And usually I'll take the pick of the litter, and then I'll offer them the other shots. And collaborating has become like a really cool part of it. It's a little bit nerve-wracking when you're photographing other photographers, but it's also really rewarding. And if they're technically knowledgeable about this stuff, you can give the camera over to them, and they can turn it on you and have that experience, and you can share and learn from each other. So I'm going for something simple and something distilled and something that removes everything except the essence of the person. And sometimes I think that they're like book jacket portraits. And this is my friend Katie, this is when she was visiting me in Tokyo, and Nobei Okacho. Get ready, Katie, you're next. And here are my pals, John and Jesse, who are going to be present tonight, who I just absolutely adore and who are so talented and so smart, and who make this city and this very healthy photography community here so special. So here is a quote from Deanne Airbus. For me, the subject of the picture is always more important than the picture. And here's one from me. For me, I usually tend to agree with Diane Airbus. It's always the journey and never really the destination. So tactile photography. So many photos, so much photo love. Print your photos, get them off of your phone. You can keep them in a shoebox, thumb through them from time to time. Then you can, take them out and relive those great memories. You can put them in a frame, put a frame on the wall. And speaking of frames, next slide. Last year, I started a new portrait project where I'm just making one photo. That's it. From the very, very big camera on glorious 8x10 film, no mistakes, no fluff, just one good shot. And I've gotten pretty good at it, so don't worry, I can do it. Then we put that photo right where it belongs in a frame for you to take home and hang on your wall and admire. Please check out the website and let's make a photo together. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, I did it. Thank you for joining tonight. We still have a lot ahead. Katie, Jesse, John, thank you so much for agreeing to present. And I did it. Woo! Woo!